So, good morning. I'm out of the closet and back in the office. So, we know that this week's Parshas Vayeishev, and Sunday, God willing, Sunday night will be Chanukah. And the Pri Tzaddik has a very interesting crossover where this week's Parsha has a kesher to Chanukah. So we know that the optimal place for lighting menorah is opposite the mezuzah. So we know the mezuzah is on the right side, Hanukkah on the left side, as opposed to, well, most people light by the window, but the optimal place is the right side, left side, opposite the menorah. The Medrash talks about why the mitzvah of Hanukkah, or the mitzvah to tell Aaron to light the menorah, is right outside after the Nisim in Paras Baloscha. Aaron was upset. He wasn't part of the chanukah HaMizbeach, chanukah HaMishkan, as far as the 12 days. The Nisim brought all the Shavatim. Even though Aaron brought the Karbanos, Aaron felt left out. So the Ramban talks about that. Hashem says to Aaron, this is bigger than what the Karbanos. Karbanos is temporary, and lights menorahs forever. And the question is, forever, it's also the Churban. Well, it's remes to menorah, to Chanukah. So what's going on, and what's the difference? So the Pri Tzaddik talks about that Torah Shebaksav, Torah Shebapeh is two different sides. Torah Shebaksav, which is Shema, the 5 books, that's remes to mezuzah, because we know the mezuzah had Shema in it. So the right side, the Yamin, that Torah Shebaksav, and the left side, we know that is Torah Shebapeh, Lev Chacham Mino, Leksil Bismolo. The Yamin, the Chacham, is the right side, and the Ksil, as Kyle says, the Ksil, the fool, is on the left side. And the difference is when you are totally hooked in to Hashem, Torah Shebaksav, you're there. We know that until the Egel, there was only supposed to be 5 books, the Chumash. Only after the Egel was Torah Shebapeh necessary. You only needed 5 books to be hooked into Hashem. Once after the Chet Egel, the Jewish people needed Torah Shebapeh, and that kind of causes Torah Shebapeh to flourish. Rov Kas, Rov Chachma, Rov Kas. With the amount of anger, that creates the Chachma. And we know this exactly happened at the time of Hanukkah. We know that Greek and Yavan, the spread of that culture, led to the Mishnah, led to the Gemara, led to Torah Shebapeh. That one was its counterbalance. In the world, with this aspect of Greek, of Yavan, leads to the action or the rise of Torah Shebapeh. So we have on the right side, we have mezuzah, we have Torah Shebaksav, and the left side, the lave of people that aren't 100% there, to get them to be hooked in, to be close to and clear to Hashem, is the left side, and that's the menorah. So there's a process to get to this high level, if you're not there already. Tzaddikim, perhaps, they're Yimino, Lev Chacham, but most of us are Ksil, Lev Ksil. We still have a way to go to gotta get to that place, and that's the left side, and that's Meramas and the menorah. The hook-in with vayeishev, this week's parsha, Yaakov wanted to live b'shalva in Olam Hazeh. And all Mefarshim would talk about, what does that mean? He wanted to take it easy. He wanted to go to the Bahamas or something. He wanted to go on a cruise. What do you mean he wants to take it easy? Obviously, he was learning Torah his whole life and following Hashem. What's this take it easy? The Pri Tzaddik says, and other Mefarshim say that no, he wanted to bring the Mashiach right away. He wanted to bring Olam Haba into this world. Yaakov was in a state of perfection. Akadei Kach, Yaakov's face is on the Kisei HaKavod. You have 4 sides. One of them is Adam. That's the face of the likeness of Yaakov. Yaakov was emes. Yaakov was totally hooked in. So what was Yaakov's point? The point is Yaakov thought that the Kates was here, that the completion was here, that Mashiach was coming, end of days was here, and to try to turn the clock forward to bring Mashiach and Olam Haba into this world, then that's what Yaakov wanted, B'shalva, to bring the point where no more Maves, no more Yetzirah, B'shalva, good things in this world, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And that's why the Rugzo of Yosef starts up, the pain and the troubles of Yosef, to show that we're not there yet. We're not there yet. The troubles of Yehuda goes with Tamar, Yosef, Mitzrayim. It's going to Mitzrayim and Mitzrayim. We're not there yet. And just think about your own lives. There's some days that you feel you turn the corner on a certain Aveira. Unfortunately, a month in, two, whatever it is, you're back almost where you started from. So we see that, in our lives. It's almost impossible. It's extremely difficult to rid ourselves from Yetzer Haras and Aveiros for certain things that are troubling us. And that's the lesson of the Brit Tzaddik says. Yaakov wanted to bring the end of days now, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And Pedavka in the Pagam, where Yosef shows what the issue is. A lot of times we don't know what our issues are until something happens. We get a little bit of insight, and we know something. I have to work on this. So all your life you could really, what? I don't say lashon hara. I daven fine. All of a sudden you hear a shir, or you come across a tzaddik, you see what he does. You say, what? I'm doing something wrong. Or what? I was saying this in shul. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I should ask a rabbi. Look into the halacha. A lot of times we get this inspiration. And that's what Brit Tzaddik, I believe, says. That's what showed Yaakov what the Pagam was. When Yosef is taken away, and we know that later all the nisyonos that Yosef had in Mitzrayim, with Ashes Potiphar, the jealousy with the brothers, now it's clear what the issue was. Perhaps Yaakov didn't know what the issues were, what the Pagam was, and what to fix. Yaakov thought nothing had to be fixed, perhaps. But when you see the troubles that Yosef went through, Yosef is called the ultimate Baal Tshuva. He fights his taivas, provides for the world. Now we know what the Pagam was and what we have to fix. So it's this Eitz Chaim He, that this Torah that is Eitz Chaim tree that is Torah, is to try to fix the Eitz Hadas, Eitz Chaim of the Aveira. The Aveira was Taiva, and by having Torah, which is Eitz Chaim, it can fix and counteract the Pagam that was the Eitz Hadas. The other point that the Brit Tzaddik makes with this is to learn Torah, which what Hashem wants. Hashem desires us to learn Torah Sheba'al Peh. And this is the cause to actually counteract what the Yevanim tried to do. The major Pagam of the Yevanim, again, they learn Torah, they have Chachma Yevanis, a lot of the Rishonim, a lot of Tanaim, they quote Greek. We learn a lot of philosophers. The Rambam quotes. We know that some of the tzaddikim, learn math. They learn all these great things from this civilization, from Greek civilization. What's the big deal? The big deal is Chachma is just that. There's no tie-in to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no tie-in to Hashem. And the major argument of Yavan was, Hashem created the world, but that's it. We're now controlling Eretz Yisrael. We're now controlling Yerushalayim. That's it. So you can learn Torah, but there's no kesher to mitzvos. Don't keep Shabbos, Bris Milah, Chodesh. There's no tie into the Moadim. That's severed. So Chachma's Chachma, but there's no tie into Hashem. And the Brit Tzaddik says this is exactly why it's Zaydim biad oskei tarsecha. It's not Zaydim bad biad soldiers, chayalim. It's oskei tarsecha. The only way to kind of contradict this and to kind of build this kesher and to light this fire in the darkness is to take Torah and tie it to Hashem. Say that no. That yes, there is Chachma, but all the Gemara and all Mishnayos and Chumash, all of it has a tie to Hashem. And this is how we kind of tie Chanukah to the Parsha. We're not there yet, and we're in the darkness of Gullus. Depending on where you are in the world, you're having a bad time, you're having a rough time, but we're in the darkness. We're definitely in darkness. And once a year, we have 8 days to kind of look at the lights and see that even though there was rough times, the Beis Mikdash was being destroyed, people on a rough matzah in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, but there was a miracle, a little bit of light, and that reminded the people that We have Torah Sheba'al Peh to learn, we have Torah to learn, and it's from Hashem, and we have a way to go. We have a way that even though we're in the Gullus, we have certain things that are revealed to us in the Gullus, and that's the lesson of Chanukah, that this pagam of Olam Hazeh, the pagam of Chenda, of Taiva, we can counteract that by filling our hearts with Torah and having Kesher to Hashem. Shabbat Shalom, Chanukah Sameach.